Hello. Good morning. All right. Hello. Good morning. Today it is April 18th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We are going live today. I'm Fan. Hello. Good morning. Well, today we are doing a beat and chat on this lovely rainy day here in the Midwest USA. A lovely beat and chat and help session for anthuriums. So I will be here. I'll be working on my projects. And basically, if you have any questions on the anthuriums that we've been working on, let me know. Let me see who is here today. We have Allison here from New York. Hello, sunny West. Is it Chazy? Chazy, New York. Happy to be here. Hello, Allison. Okay, so we're currently live on YouTube, currently live in the Bead Floor Studio Facebook page, and live in the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. Do you believe that? We are live there too. But I do need you guys in the group to help me activate the chat, give it a thumbs up, or put something in the chat so I can see the comments. Unless you do that, I cannot see the comments. So please do that. Okay. All right. And wherever you're watching from, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. What's your weather like today? Because it's raining like golf size. Is it baseball or golf size hail supposedly today here in Wisconsin? So I'm not looking forward to that. So it's kind of just kind of rainy right now, but there's going to be hail later. Okay, so Allison says pronounced Shazy. Okay, Shazy. All right, so let's jump into it. If you guys have questions, put your questions in the chat about the anthurium, and I'll do my best to answer them. Let's go. Okay. I am going to switch screens. So these are the anthuriums. I want to show you all the colorways while we're waiting for the questions here. Oh, let me grab my other colorway too while we're waiting. Okay, so this is my work in progress. Well, let me switch screens again. Okay. So as I'm showing this stuff, type your questions in the chat if you have questions about the anthurium bead along. Okay, so this is Lauren. This is my leaf. It's all like loose right now. Oh, I did wrap these two together. I did wrap these together, but these are loose. So this is just kind of work in progress. It is not my final arrangement for this project. It's just, this is just my, temporary vase for it. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do yet for this arrangement. So I need to find some sort of vase container for the arrangement. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. I know I just said I don't have any ideas, but I kind of like have a concept of what I want to go with. And so I either need to look for some sort of container or find something in nature. And I do have something in nature in my backyard that I'm thinking of using, but it just rained. So I can't grab it. I can't grab it. I need to let it dry before I can before I can bring it back into the house. Okay, so let me switch screens again. All right, Allison says it's gorgeous. Thank you. Now it's a mess because I just randomly haphazardly put it back in there. Okay, so the question is, What happens when you break your lacing wire? Rather, how can it be fixed? Okay, so let me find something that I can lace. And yes, it can be fixed. Okay. And you know what? And that is something that happens to me too. It happens all the time. I break lacing wires. I do that. So let me see if I can find something here that I can show you. Let's pretend to lace on this here. All right, let's grab some lacing wire. Let's do red so that it is contrasting. Grab my cutters here. Okay, so let's pretend you broke your lacing wire right around this area. Okay, so you're lacing along right along this area and say you broke it right here. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to start our lacing wire as per usual, right? So we're going to put our lacing wire over the area that you want to lace. We're going to stick it through in between the rows, turn it around, and continue lacing it that way. And you may want to wrap this initial wrap twice, just like we were to start from the beginning or at the end. We are lacing as we go today, right? So, but we're just going to, for this pattern, we are lacing as we go. So now you have this tail right here. And at the end, what you would do is you will just trim this off and tuck this in. But in the meantime, we're going to hold on to the tail or get it out of the way and then continue lacing this way. So I hope that answers your question. So with the other side, with the broken side of your lacing wire, you would just do the same thing. If you can, wrap it around twice and then, oh, my face is not in it. My face is not in the frame. Hang on. So you would cut that twice. You would wrap the other wire twice, trim, and then for this tail wire, you would wrap it around twice and trim, and then just continue lacing it this way. Right? I hope that helps. That's how you would fix that. Okay, I'm going to undo this here. And if you guys have any more questions about the anthuriums, put it in the chat. Okay, let me do something real quick here because let me see if I can get the comments. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can. Okay, guys, if you are in the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group, I am currently not seeing your comments. So if you are in there, please help me trigger the comment so I can see it. Let's see here. Well, the first few minutes, it's always like this. So, Okay, I see it. Okay. Here we go. Thank you, April. I see it. So, all right, here we go. Yeah. Next question is my scallops seem to have shoulders. What am I doing wrong? Shoulders. I guess I'm not understanding that question. Can you describe it a little bit more, Allison? Is it I yeah, I guess I'm not if you can take a picture of it and maybe post it in the group and I will see it. Okay? Let me know when you've posted it. If after you've taken the picture, post it in the group and then it would be better if I see it. Then I'll know what exactly the issue is. Okay, while we're waiting, um, I do have a project that I'm kind of working on. Not no, not really. I'm not working on, but I kind of want to finish today. And that is these marigolds. And I just want to finish lacing them. They've just been sitting around for like a couple years, and I need to finish them. This was done like 2 years ago, so I want to finish them. Right? Okay, let me see. They seem to bulge out, not a smooth transition. Okay, so I am thinking if it is not a smooth transition, hmm, I would suggest straighten out the wires after each section as you go, right? S- Straighten out the wires after each section. Or and when you are making the scallop, well, first we have the inner scallop, right? You want to make sure that all you have enough beads on that row. So that's why you want to lace as we go. Make sure that it is nice and like really tight. And if it's not tight, if it looks like it's bulgy, what I suggest that you do is to crush a bead and then mold it along the row again. Does it look like it is right sitting right next to each other? Smooth it out, mold it along. If it is not, right? So if it's bulging out like this, mold it along. If it's still bulging out, you take your where are my I just had it. Okay. You would take your pliers, you crush a bead, and then you keep mold it along because I am thinking you probably have extra beads in there. So if you can, take a picture for me so I can see, and then I can give you the correct diagnosis because without seeing it, it's kind of hard to know exactly what the issue is. So if you can take a picture, that would be great. Um, but based on what you're saying, that's what I'm thinking is probably the issue. Okay, so Ruby said, "You have to know you are appreciated, but if not, you are appreciated." Thank you, Ruby. I know you guys I know you appreciate me. Thank you. But, um, it's good to hear it though, so I appreciate it, Ruby. I appreciate it. So, yes, it's good to be recognized, it's good to be appreciated. I have all of these here. So, like I said, these have been sitting around for like a couple years, and I'm like, it should be done. I was just cleaning up in the studio today, and wondering what should I do. So this is what I'm going to do. And while I'm waiting for more questions, This is a help session. My first priority is to help you guys with your Anthurium questions. If there are no questions, then I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna work on a project. But if you do have questions, that is my number one priority. All right? So I am going to floss this. This is the only one that I don't have floss, and then I'm gonna just put everything together. Right. So I was in here yesterday just trying to figure out this streaming stuff. It's giving me a headache. I was like, like my camera? Is it my camera? Is it my connection? My camera is fine. So it produces crisp video, but I'm just not sure sometimes, like when it translates, when it gets recorded in a stream, it's just that sometimes it's just not translating. So I know I did something the other day. Maybe some settings in my camera was goofy, but now it shouldn't be goofy anymore. Okay, so Allison, where are you sending the picture? Can you post it in the group and then let me know and I'll just look for it after you let me know. Okay? So this floss is a slightly different color than the original one, but I'm just gonna I don't have the original color. So this color is DMC 703, and I believe I probably use DMC 704, but I'm not gonna be too picky about it. I just wanna get this out of the way and finished. How far do I need to floss down? Oh, so this project is my French marigolds. I didn't even tell you what this project is. French marigolds, and this is what I potted in last week's Bead and Chat. So I made a lot of these. This is the original pattern with all of the different shadings. So this was the original one, not one that I made last year. So this was one I made a couple years ago instead of last year. So this was also a Bead Along, but slightly different altered pattern. So after this, I'm never making another French marigold again because that's too much. I have scissors. I will use scissors. What am I doing? Okay, looks like we have Teresa joining us. Hello, Teresa. If you guys and girls are just joining me, I am we are having a help session and a Beta chat. So as you are working on your French Beta anthuriums and have questions, pop those questions in the chat. I am just here working on my projects if there are no questions, right? So I'm just waiting for Allison to post a picture so I can see what the issue is. But other than that, I am just finishing up on my marigolds, French marigolds. Can you believe it? I started the flossing like a couple years ago, but it has stayed back like this. It was not tied up or anything. So it stayed intact for 2 years in a vase, so it did not come apart, right? That I think is amazing. Okay. Okay, it looks like we had Elia joining us. Hello, Elia. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. I saw your comment earlier, but then I blanked. Sorry. Appreciate I appreciate you. Let me know where you're watching from, Elia. I hope I said your name right. And if I ever butcher your names, please let me know. I don't want to continue saying your name incorrectly, right? So just let me know. All right. I don't have enough leaves, but I'm just going to keep going because this is one of these projects that I have extras of. Like as I'm making tutorials, I may need to make extras for something. And so I just have extras, right? So for these extras that are not the original pattern, I'm just going to assemble however it is as I can, not trying to bead anymore. That is my new, I wouldn't say philosophy, but my new approach. That's my new approach with all of my extra work. From making videos, from making tutorials, I just have all these extra things. Lois wants to know if I have a pattern for my earrings. What earrings? Oh, the ones I'm wearing? Um, yes and no. If you go on my YouTube channel, Lois, you'll find that I have earring tutorials for earrings on my YouTube channel. Very similar to these. Very similar to these. But these are not earrings. This is a head with a dang. I'll try to show you. These are not earrings. This is a headband, a leaf headband, and these are dangles attached to the headband, right? It's attached to the headband, so it gives you the illusion of earrings, but it is not because I can only wear certain types of ear wires and sterling silver, and sterling silver has been even sterling silver has been irritating me. So, and I kind of don't want to wear earrings because of that. It's just there aren't many things. There is one type. I forget the metal. I forget the type of metal that I can wear because I bought it at a somewhere like some a fair once, and I can wear those earrings fine, but I just don't want to put anything in my ears. All that trauma and stuff. After all that trauma, I don't want anything in my ears. So it is a headband with dangles. And I don't think there's not enough interest for jewelry at this point. So I'm just gonna keep going with making flower tutorials. There aren't enough interest. But Lois, if you are interested in making some just earrings, there are earring tutorials on my YouTube channel, um, youtube.com/beadflora. Look up rosebud earrings, or you should be able to find something. Okay, there's too many flowers and not enough leaves, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep going. So you are just joining me. We are having a bead and chat and help session for the French beaded anthuriums for those who are working on my anthurium pattern right now for this bead along. Why is this not staying? It's kind of like, I'm going to undo it a bit. It's just kind of moving. All right. So let me, Allison says, posted the picture. Let me go take a look. All right. So let me put it up here on the screen so I can see. All right. Okay, so it is as I suspected, Allison. It does look like you have too many beads there. So what I would suggest for you to do is, like I said, take your fingers and push the beads so that that row there with, okay, so I'm looking on the right-hand side, the row, the inner row, the inner scallop, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So on the right-hand side, the inner scallop, it looks like there is a gap, like towards the top. So that you have too many beads there. So what I would suggest that you do is undo the outer row and then take your pliers and crush a bead. And after you crush a bead, pull onto the wire um, to make it tighter. So after you crush a bead, you're going to have extra wire space. And when you have that extra space, you want to pull it to kind of tighten the space, right? So then, um, and then you wouldn't have as much of a gap. And then after you do that, you'll still see that if there might still be a gap. So at that point, you would smooth it out, mold it along the previous row, right? Mold it along, pinch it in, mold it in. And then after that, if there is still a gap there, 'cause I'm still seeing that space there, I would, crush another bead, okay, so and then pull. But I'm thinking just 1 bead might be enough there. If you crush that 1 bead from the inner scallop row, that should be enough. So crush, mold, pull, or crush, pull on the wire, and then mold it along, and then do the next row. So that is the issue. So that should that should do it. All right. That will do it. That will definitely fix your issue. Okay. So you're wondering, I probably need to undo the other side too and get rid of the top bead on the out row on the left side. No, the left side looks fine. Um, that looks fine. I think if it looks like there's a gap, then I think if you just push it in, you can just take your fingers, kind of push, or it would be this way, right? It would be this way. If you just push that in, That should be fine. So your left side looks fine. My main concern is the right-hand side, that gap towards the top right there, and that should fix it. You don't need to undo the left-hand side, just the right will take care of it. Undo the outer row on the right-hand side, and then tighten the tighten the wire, get rid of a bead or 2. I think with 1 bead is fine, but if there's still a gap after you pull, then I would suggest to get rid of another bead. So that should yeah, left-hand side is fine. It's the right-hand side that is the issue. Right. Okay, so there is that. I'm gonna put the anthurium back on here. If you guys have any more questions, put it down in the chat. Happy to help. Anthurium, where is that? Too many folders. Too many folders going on. Let's pick a different color. Let's go with purple this time. Let's go with purple. Uh, okay, so if you guys have questions, get pictures to me. Okay, that will be most helpful. That would be most helpful. And if you have any other questions, it doesn't have to be related to the anthurium. If you just have other issues, let me know and get you straightened out. Okay, you are very welcome. Mhm. Now I'm just flossing this here. Lois says they are so cute. I think you're talking about the earrings. Yes, I love them. Mm. I may include, okay, so I've been kind of, I was working on a jewelry book, and now I am thinking no on the jewelry book, but I will include some jewelry in my next book. So, no, I'm not working on a book yet. So, but I've been thinking about it. So, on my next book, I am thinking I will do some patterns and then also some other and I'll include jewelry projects. So for those that are interested in jewelry, you'll have some patterns, but I don't think the majority there's not enough interest for jewelry for me to do, like, classes. I did a like a kind of like a small bead along on, um, necklaces and a class on necklaces, and I don't think there is enough interest for jewelry at this point for most people. I think most people are interested in just the actual beaded flowers. So you gotta give the people what they want. If they don't want jewelry, um, can't sell classes on jewelry, right? Or where should this go? Even though it's so fun to design, it's like it's 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 different techniques. It's a challenge for me to try to come up with techniques to do things for jewelry that has never been able to be done before, using just wire. Because my design philosophy when it come where's my oh, I dropped my floss. Okay, because I'm out of floss. So if you run out of floss, right, like I did, we're just gonna add it in. Same way. Hold on to it. budget, and I am almost done with this. So today's session is going to be a short session. It's going to be a slightly shorter session than usual because I know today is like Good Friday. Most people are not on, but I wanted to keep that consistent schedule of every Friday. And my kids are home from school today as well. So it needs to be a short session because of that as well. Um, but I wanted to keep it consistent, um, just to be on what I said I'm gonna be on, so I'm here. But now I'm thinking maybe I need to switch from Friday to a different day because if the majority of the times that my kids are off of school are on Fridays, if you look on the calendar, if they are off of school due to, like, teacher planning days or anything like that, it would be on a Friday, uh, so I should probably pick, like, a different day. A Wednesday, which is there's a chance that they will be off on a Monday. That that is a day that they could be off Monday, Thursday, Friday, so I should pick a day that they are at least likely chance of them being home when I do these. Okay, so final leaf. Pot this too. I should probably pot this as well. So I've got some time. So if you are just joining me, we are having a help session for the French Bead and Thurium bead along that we just did on what day? Tuesday, that we just did on Tuesday. And you can find the replay on my YouTube channel. It is also on the Bead Floor Studio Facebook page, and it's also on the Learn How to Make French Beaded Flowers Facebook group. I had some equipment issues, so I had to redo it and restream, so that's always fun. Man, I was so tired yesterday just, like, from figuring out all this stuff. It's so mind draining, this technology stuff is so draining. Okay, so are we almost done from here? These are these little projects that I usually don't spend time on to finish. So that's what these sessions here with you are for, for me to finish my little itty bitty projects, little itty bitty things, and also with you as well. If you have any questions on the anthuriums or any other project, feel free to put it in the chat. Okay. All right, so I am going to trim this here so they're all flush. Look, I'm prepared today. For once, right? For once, I'm prepared. Okay. All my tools next to me. Floral tape. I do. Okay. It's not a light green color, but it'll do. Because I'll probably pot it and not, we won't see it. Let me know what projects you guys are working on. If you're not working on the anthurium, what projects are you working on? Okay. Let's see. Cool. All right. Allison says, much better. I just fixed it. Awesome. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Okay. Let me grab a pot. So I'm going to grab a pot and we're going to pot this up, right? We're not going to wait. If I wait, I don't know when I'm going to pot this up. All right. So hang tight. Questions in the chat while I grab a pot. I'm not seeing anything I want. Did I use up all my owl pots? I think I did. I thought there was like one more left. So. All right. No, I think this would be too small. Definitely too small. But I have this polar bear, but I don't think like seasons wise. Got this at the dollar store when it was still a dollar. Right. I think it would be cute, but a polar bear with a fall flower, I think that might be. Snowdrops would be cool in this, but I'm not gonna beat snowdrops again. I mean, I got other projects to do, so I'm not gonna beat something just for a pot, right? So I'm gonna. Oh, I see more pots over there. Right. Found the owl pot. I'm gonna go in here. Is it too? Does it look like it goes? This angry owl. Yeah, let's do the angry owl. Why not? All right. Let's see. Looks like April has a question. Let's see what April says. Let me grab my clay, April. Then I'll be with you. Okay. Ooh, this smells. Should I do this? I want the owl. All right. April says, I have a question about another project. I'm hoping for string advice for a variegated color pattern. I've got two spinners side by side. It's just taking forever. Any advice? Variegated. How variegated, April? How variegated? And how many beads do you have? Like how many bead colors do you have? If you have two beads. Is it two? I guess I need more info. I need more info. Um, okay, so two big spinners side by side. It's just taking forever. Well, I mean, yeah, with shading patterns, they do take a long time, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna cut this here. So, April, how many bead colors? What's the pattern? Two colors. Okay. Well, I guess I know you said it's taking forever, but I guess what's the issue? Like how is it taking a long time? What I normally do is I have a spinner here and a spinner here, and I go like, it would. Are you free forming it? Because the problem is sometimes it may take a long time if the pattern is very specific about the an inch or less of each color at a time. Okay. Well, okay. Let me focus on this first. Let me focus on this first. Okay. Baby Moore's joined us. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Okay. Can you tell me, April? Oh, freeform? Okay. If that is the case, if it's freeform, then I wouldn't worry too much. Because I would just be, if you saw my if you saw my anthurium stream of how I did my freeform, right? I didn't. It is going to take some time if you are very specific about where you want your beads to go. That you can't avoid that, right? That will take a long time. That can't be avoided. But if you are free forming and you don't really care, some might care. And yes, you should care. But if you are more, I guess, liberal about where your beads can go, right? If you don't care that much about where the beads lie, then I guess it's okay to just be like, yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you know what? Ultimately, it's going to look fine. And that's what I did with my anthuriums, right? So with the outer rows, I didn't really care too much about the placement, right? I'm like, so I said, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of this, about this much, and about this much. I went and I just beat it. If I After I made the row and said, "Oh," I mean, after I placed af before I wrap, I'll take a look, and if it looks fine, then I'll say, "Oh, yeah, okay, that looks good." But if it doesn't look fine, then then I will take the beads off. So a lot of times, I think most of your effort is just trying to control where the beads go as far as just, I guess, looking at it too much, looking at it like what's I think control would be the right word, right? So if you're free forming, then it'll take less time and you just kind of let it go and say, "Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna let the beats talk to me. This is where the beats are gonna go." And then if you and then you look at 2 rows, if the colors kind of look off, then yes, yes, we will take control, then take the beads off and redo the row. But otherwise, go with the flow. That's all I'm saying. Just go with the flow. If it's freeform, if it's not very specific. Um, so I know, let's talk about Lauren's orchid. So with that lip, right? With this here, if I can bring this up, with this here, it was very specific. You had to kind of get it in the right way, I guess. And then when it's very specific, yes, you need to have the control of the beats, right? But otherwise, just go with the flow. If it's not something that needs that tight of a control. So hope that helps. And I'm gonna need some moss. And I see Allison has a question. So no, don't say sorry. You don't need to say sorry. If you have a question, you ask the question, okay? So this is what this session is for. I'm gonna go get the moss and then I will come back and read the question and see what it's all about. Okay. So I wasn't planning on potting, so that's why I'm walking all around my studio looking. All right. I have another question. She says, my row 12 wire is in the exact same place as my lacing wire. Too much wire in one place. Row 12. I'm going to see where row 12 is. Where is row 12? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. Okay. So row 12 right here. My row 12. This way, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so around here is what I'm guessing. Okay. My row 12, 2 bead scallop. Okay, that's where we are. Is in the exact place as my lacing wire. Too much wire in one place? No, that's fine. I know what you're talking about, and that is fine. So if your lacing wire is right here, at that, if your lacing wire is right here, where your scallop is supposed to go, perfectly fine. No issues. Just keep going. Right? Okay. So I'm gonna do that. So if you guys are on YouTube or on the Bead Floor Studio page, when you type your comments out, I can put it on the screen. But if you are in the Facebook group, because Facebook made some changes. I can't put your comments in the on the screen, so that's just how it is. Because not that I'm picking or choosing what to put on the screen. I just can't. Well, I mean, in a way, yes, I am, but I just can't put it on the screen. Okay, so after this, all of my owl pots are done. I'm done with all the owl pots. Right. And this moss is so messy. Moss is messy. And where am I going to get moss now that Joanne Fabrics is out of business? I don't want to drive all the way to Michael's, which is a little bit farther away. I guess I just need to make a trip because Joanne's was pretty convenient in that it was just 5 minutes away from me. So if I needed anything like embroidery moss or something like that, florist related, I go there. I'm sad that I'm going to lose that convenience. Okay, looks like we have Ala just joining us today towards the end of the stream. Hello. Good evening. Okay, so that is done. Shape this here. Okay. You guys have any more questions? Let me know. As we are getting to the end of the stream here. Ella says, sorry to be late. Well, you can watch the replay. That's what you can do. You can watch the replay. So for those that are watching the replay and you've gotten to this far, let me know in the chat. Okay. Last week I potted. Is it last week? Yeah, last week I was on the floor over there and I potted a whole bunch of marigolds, and I didn't think I'd be potting more marigolds today, but here we are. So another thing done. You know what? These would make like awesome gifts because I already have them done and they're sitting around. They are just sitting around. Okay, so let's shape everything. So even without more leaves, it still looks fine. It still looks okay. So I'm not gonna, be too controlly, if that's a word, be too controlly about it, right? So just go with the flow. Okay. As I am cleaning up, if there are any more questions, put it down in the chat, okay? I find that if I just end the stream without cleaning up, I still clean up. So I will clean up with me too. Stay on it. Clean up with me. We're getting to the end of the stream here. I finished my project. I've answered your questions about anthuriums. And if you have any more questions, I would be happy to answer them. Put them in the chat. Oh gosh, this is so messy. I hate working with this stuff. Threw it away. Threw it away. So this morning, I decided to put my tools in here, my most used tools right here. It has a small hole until I need this vase because I had this vase for a while. I don't need it for anything at the moment. So this is my tools vase for here. So I'm not going to be tempted to put like everything in there, like pens and everything like that. So just enough. Okay, so I am done over here. And if there are no more questions, um, then I will end the stream here. Mm, Next week, Friday, I believe, is the next lesson on the 25th. I will be working on the SpadeX and also assembly. I wanted to give you guys because the spade takes a bit of time. I wanted to give you some time to work on it and get some help on that before we go on to the next thing. So next week on the 25th, we will be making an easy peasy SpadeX, and then we will attach it to a stem. And so that should be a quick session. So yeah, it would be a quick session. And then that's it. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week. Happy Friday.